the Democratic base, that we will shift too far left and overreach like the Republicans did with the Tea Party in 2010. What are your thoughts on that?
Good question.
Let's hear this.
And look, this is what I say every day. I disagree with Donald Trump on virtually every issue, and I talk about it. And I'll tell you what upsets me, but I'll tell you what upsets me the most, and I'm going to answer your question, is that whether you're conservative or moderate or progressive, I don't think the American people are proud that we have a president who is a pathological liar. And I say that, it does not give me pleasure to say that. All right, I disagreed with George W. Bush on almost everything. Bush was not a pathological liar. Trump cannot even tell the truth, even as to where his father was born. It's really that crazy. His father was born in New York. He claims he was born in Germany. But if you can't even tell the truth about where your father was born, it's hard to believe anything that he says. But to answer your question, look, if we spend all of our time attacking Trump, you know what? Democrats are going to lose. All right? Our job is to lay out a vision that makes sense to the working families of this country. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Over a 4-year period, and the video that you showed earlier, I think, captured that, we raised issues 4 years ago which were thought to be extreme and a little bit out there, but today they're accepted by the American people. So I think you talk to the people of Bethlehem and Burlington, Vermont, you say, what's on your mind? Well, you know what? Among other things, if you work 40 hours a week, people don't want to live in poverty. We've got to raise that minimum wage to a living wage. In my state of Vermont and all over this country, we've got an infrastructure that is falling about. Roads and bridges and water systems, wastewater. But we can put 15 million people back to work with $1 trillion investment. Think that makes sense to people? So I agree with you, all right? I mean, I think Trump is a dangerous president, but if all we do is focus on him, we lose. Our job is to develop an agenda that speaks to the needs of workers. When we do that, we're going to win, and win big.
It's funny. I like that answer, even though I don't think it answered the guy's question at all. We went around the guy's question. I could have swore that guy asked about not moving too far to the left in the same way that the Tea Party went. But whether the guy realized it or not, the Tea Party was able to take power in the Republican Party, and you can make an argument, was able to put Trump in that office. I mean, after all, he's not a president in this kind of corporate class, even though he is, if that makes sense. I mean, it's almost like he's from a different class of the party of sorts. But you get my point, they won. I understand these guys were insane, but the left is not that way. Like, there's the comparison just doesn't fly between the two. It's a good answer. It's always funny, this two-step. I'm going to hit Trump as really hard as I possibly can. The Trump is a habitual liar, and it gives me no pleasure at all to say that. No pleasure at all. But if we continuously hit Trump, we lose. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. But he is right on the second point, though. Look, this idea of moving too far to the left, it's hard to know what that means. For the most part, the stuff that he was pushing in the last term, they consider that fringe. At this point, this is considered mainstream. Now, if you're asking people just basic things like, look, there are things that we can agree upon. Should you get higher wages? Most people would say, yes, I can agree that I should be making higher wages. So fair enough. Do you believe that you should drink clean water? Meaning, do you believe that your kid and every other kid in this country, regardless of where they are, should be able to get clean water? Yes, I think people should be able to get clean water. There are things that we can agree upon. What about clean air? What about having an environment in the first place? Or having an environment that's, let's say, clean in the first place? His point is there are things that we can agree upon. And all those things that we can agree upon, we should move forward on those things. Should people get health care? I think that answer is a yes. An overwhelming majority of Democrats think yes. The majority of the population says yes. There are things that we can agree upon that we can move forward on. This idea of moving too far to the left, Sanders is giving you this platform. Accept him or don't. But I don't necessarily think he directly answered that question, even though I think he hit it in an indirect way. So let's keep going. The one that I wanted to go to was 20.